Oh man, we finally got some good Halo news. What is up, peeps? Hope you all enjoyed your weekend. And this past weekend, we had a huge announcement for Halo and 343. First and foremost, the studio, being 343 Studios, has now rebranded and will go by Halo Studios. So bye-bye to a not so beloved name in the industry, a part of a bigger announcement for them in the future of all things Halo, as all of their future games, which are probably still far away, will be made on Unreal Engine 5 as they port things over for the future. And this took a lot of people by storm. They even had their own video about this, as they call the upcoming project and everything around it Project Foundry.
We really had to split our focus in thinking about building an engine, supporting it, being really kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time. Since we've made the change to shift to UE, we can bring Halo forward in ways that people have never seen before while still being true to what Halo is.
The Foundry project was an effort to show ourselves how far we can push things using Unreal 5.
New studio art director, Chris, came to me and said, hey, I have this crazy idea.
He said, hey, there's this thing called Project Foundry that I want to do. Let's make it happen.
And I think a huge emphasis they were trying to make throughout this, and even saying themselves, was that running and maintaining an engine while also a game is a very pressure-filled situation, and it also requires a lot of time and effort, as we can imagine. And so hopefully more of that time and effort, instead of going towards an engine, now with everything on Unreal, you have a lot more time to dedicate to just maintaining and expanding your own games and your own universe within Halo, which has my interest peaked. I've tamed all expectations with the last few years that we have had, and Infinite's had its complaints, okay, don't get me wrong.
Foundry specifically is based around the same concept of the Foundry in Halo lore. It's the place where Halo rings are born. It's not a game, it's a research project for our studio so we can prepare ourselves for the next steps of making Halo games.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's what Halo needs to be again.
But I do love the fact that they are still intertwined, not just in the esports scene. We have one more year at least of HCS, which is the esports side of Halo, which, if you guys don't know me, I love. They also announced as ahead of the grand finals, Space Station Between Optic, which is always a drama-filled series, but at least they're still intertwined with that side of the community to get these announcements out there at a world championship. I thought it was very well timed, because clearly we're all talking about it. The whole world was talking about it. Tons of videos and headlines about bye-bye 343, and here is Halo Studios, and we got a sneak peek of 3 different biomes that they had kind of pre-made and in hype announcement over there on UE5. So it's a very, very timid structure of what we will be seeing, but it gives you a broader idea of what we can maybe expect, which I would say is exciting. And at the end of all this, saying, hey, we are changing the recipe. And I think that's the biggest thing people have continued to have questions when it comes to Halo. I'm a huge Infinite enjoyer. Others were certainly not. And I would say that's rightfully so. That is completely understandable. You could tippy toe on that line, or you could also nail a ton of different reasons as to why Infinite was not people's favorite, and certainly not a game changer when it comes to the history of Halo that some might have been expecting. But what is next is going to be pretty pivotal, because you announced this engine change, and so now expectations, although probably low for a lot of you guys out there, it almost feels like, to me personally, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like a last hope. Like you changed to UE5, which is talk of the town right now as these engines keep on, expanding and growing in themselves. But UE5 is a big one for sure. And so they tease this, and we're probably not close to a new title. But when we are there, that's going to be the last chance, especially after Infinite, for a lot of people out there, because I'm one of 3,000 people on Steam that play this game regularly. So to me, it feels like a last chance. And then you throw in, like, what's the universe going to look like? What's the game possibilities going to look like? I mean, they already have a great selection of maps and game modes, in my opinion, but how can they expand on that? Map pool-wise or gameplay-wise and universe-wise. But even then as well, people still wonder, does this mean a Battle Royale in the future? And I'm still timid about that. I was never one to think that a Battle Royale would actually save Halo to begin with. I stand by that. And if you disagree, hey, I would still love to play a Battle Royale. So it's a win-win for me, but especially with all of these newly dedicated resources away from an engine and now more so towards building a game, I mean, maybe that is more time, but we've also just recently heard of a recent project for BR for Halo that didn't even come to happen from back in 2023. So at the end of the day, we say goodbye to 343. We say hello to Halo Studios, and the excitement is still there. You can tell by the response, but it seems to be a bit of a fading light, and they got to get it right on this next time through. But I'm excited. I'm a huge Halo fan, so this was one of the more exciting parts of my entire weekend. What do you guys think? What do you expect? And what do you think Halo Studios needs to really succeed and be different from its predecessor, of 343? Can't be too hard to beat at this rate. Till next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Drink up water, coffee, get some sort of caffeine in you, or some energy, or water. Yeah, either one. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care.